So I think that another problem that I have with this past thing, the glorious past argument, is the fact that it's wrong. It's just not true. Because if you go through statistics, if you read Steven Pinker's works, he shows you how the world was 600 years ago. You don't want to live life 600 years ago. You don't want to go back, because life was just absolutely terrible. We live, like, right now is the best time that has ever been for us as a species. We live in the best time, and we need to accept that. And from where here, we only need to move forward to the future. And the thing is that that India right now, I think, needs forced liberalization, like liberalization in the social sense of the word, because most of the people in India are basically homophobic. That is a fact. A huge portion of India is still casteist. A huge portion is misogynist. So we cannot afford to have conversation about the excesses of the LGBTQ movement, the excesses of feminism. What we need is, well, we do not have legalization of gay marriage yet in India. So how can you talk about the excesses of LGBTQ movement when it's not even legal in India? Like, you can have that conversation in America, but in India right now we need forced liberalization. The Hindu Code Bill, which came, the Hindu civil law, which came in the immediate aftermath of independence, it was basically forced. The Constitution of India was basically forced on people, because most of the people then there were not having these lofty ideas, right? So this was basically forced, and then people got to come around it and accept it. And we need to do the same thing right now. And that is exactly what happened in America. So I'll give you one example, the gay marriage issue. So I've been reading the writings of Ben Shapiro for quite a while, and he's a perfect example. So he's been opposing gay marriage his entire career. He opposed it up until the Supreme Court gave the judgment. Even after that, he tweeted against it. But then the conservatives basically understood that, this is an issue that is behind us. This is an issue that we just need to accept and move on, make peace with. Yeah, right. So I think that to come to that stage, you have to basically force it, because the likes of Ben Shapiro will never advocate for gay marriage. The liberals will, right? So you need to force it, and then the conservative wing, the Hindutva wing, or whatever, they will come to accept it. So I think that is what India needs right now. And this narrative of a glorious past is making things worse for this country.
I mean, in some sense, I still think it is making things better, but maybe in the net, it might have a negative effect. And I always think that political decisions, political stories, political events always flower in retrospect. And so, we can only do predictions with minimum amount of variables in our head, while the real world system is like, maybe we force it. But what happens is, hypothetically, RSS goons start beating up every guy who's trying to marry every other guy. And so even if it's legal, it's barely helping, kind of thing, So I'm just saying there's too many factors involved.
But that's the first step, right?
Oh,
so
to me, here is where I'm at. Okay, this is going to sound slightly funny. To me, I cannot construct a first principle approach to marriage in the 21st century. I understand it's a tradition. I understand it's working. I am monogamous as hell. I'm not polygamous. Like, when I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. I'm not denying that. But getting the government involved in my relationship is a bit much in any sense of the word.
Yeah, but you cannot make that libertarian argument in the Indian context, because we already have the government involved. So, the idea of, getting the government out of marriage is more improbable than getting legalizing gay marriage. And so I think that's the pragmatic approach.
Right. You were brilliantly said. I mean, I'm with you on that. It's because the tradition, let's say the tributary of tradition is broad enough in this area that you cannot construct a dam of that nature with first principles. I know that's not what I'm just saying. Like, to me, just marriage is getting the government involved much. I would happily spend my life with somebody as long as nobody's telling me what to do.